Hello, everybody, and welcome back. It's Liam here. I work as a spiritual life coach in Cape Town, South Africa. This will be my first video uploading to YouTube, first paranormal themed video, if I can put it that way. And it will basically be touching on what is a spiritual house cleansing. So I've got a few notes here so I don't lose track of anything or that we just don't miss out on anything juicy. So if you'd like, I know my intro video is somewhere on my page. Please go and have a look at that if you'd like a quick introduction. But otherwise, we're going to jump straight into it. So today, as I've said, the title of our video is What is a Spiritual House Cleansing? So basically what it is it's a restoring of peace, harmony, and protection to your living environment. Now, obviously, your living environment, it could be your home, it could even be your office space. It could be a space where you spend most of your time and you feel that something isn't quite right. Okay, so we're going to look at when can you do these spiritual cleansings, and then after that, what types do we use? Okay, so first of all, when would you do something like this? So it would be when it after an illness, a long illness, we'll do a bit of a spiritual cleansing just to move off or move on, should I say, some of that old energy that is surrounding you or the place that you're staying in. Okay. It could be after a conflict. And I know that conflicts uh happen at varying degrees or levels. But if you feel that after a conflict, you know what, I need to clear the air, I need to clear this energy, or the spiritual stuff that's hanging around, just go ahead and do it. Okay. Many times people do it when they move into a new home. I know that is something that I like to do when I move into a new space. I just like to clear out all the old energy, anything that may be hanging around. I just help move it along. Because now that is going to become my space with my spouse. And we want to start fresh and we want to start new. We want to start on a good footing as well. So that's one of the reasons why you would do one. Another one, and this could be a bit dark for some people, but you know, sometimes you feel that something is hanging around in your home or in your workspace, wherever it may be, and it just doesn't feel right. Doesn't feel right. It's heavy. It feels like it just doesn't belong there. It is something that is agitating you, or worrying you, should I say. And that is, a good time to do one of these cleansing when you're feeling a heavy presence or something that just doesn't belong there. And we do these cleansings just to move on that spiritual energy to get it out of the way, so that you can feel better going forward, that you feel good in your space, that you feel safe. That's the most important thing. Another could be you've had some sort of spiritual experience. Okay. It's not necessarily demonic in nature or diabolical, I beg your pardon, or dark in any way. It could be that you've seen something, an apparition that's benign, really, that's just completely neutral, but it's given you quite a fright, or you've heard a noise that's unnatural, and these are things that you just cannot explain. You've tried your best. You know, all the windows were closed, all the doors were closed, the radio was turned off, but there's this voice coming from somewhere, a whisper, whatever it may be, or you've just seen something out of the corner of your eye, and it's happened a few times. You just cannot explain it. You think, oh, but the first time it happens, maybe a shadow is, something's happened from the outside and it's casted a shadow, but it's just too much of a coincidence. and you feel something and you feel uneasy, that will be a good time to do a spiritual cleansing. Now, another time that you'll do a cleansing is, it's not necessary to get rid of the boogeyman or anything like that. We actually can do this for positive things. For example, you clear your space of any low frequencies or low energies, things that we don't want to play into anymore. It could be a scarcity mindset, a poverty mindset, that's bringing you down, or it's you just feel that the energy within your home isn't good, and you would like to invite something in that's more positive. So you'll just clear out all that old stuff, or your old thinking, or your old ways of doing things. And then you would do that clearing, and then you would invite in something positive, a positive energy, a high frequency, something like you would say something to the effect of, I invite into my home or into my space prosperity, abundance, health, wealth, and you can speak some affirmations to solidify that, to keep it positive. If you like, you could use a bit of incense, a bit of burning of sage or something, just to seal in that blessing. But we'll be coming on to that now. So I think what I'm just trying to get at is that it doesn't have to be anything negative when you do a clearing, or doesn't have to have a negative connotation. It can have a positive one too. Okay. Now, when it comes to clearing out your space, doing a spiritual cleansing, there are many ways that we can do it, but I will just touch on a few that I am quite familiar with and comfortable speaking about. So it's usually done by smudging. Maybe you have some sage, or you have some lovely incense that you can burn that feels special to you, and you would light that, and you would go around your whole living area or office, whichever area is feeling uncomfortable, and you would speak a prayer or positive affirmations. But first, you would start off with something like, if there's anything negative, or if there's anything that needs to move on that doesn't belong here, please move on. Um, you don't need to be here anymore. Please move on. This is a positive space. And then once you've cleared and you've used the smoke and you've gone to each corner, of your office or your house, any sort of space that you're in most of the time, and you just go in and you let that smoke, if it's from sage or incense, a stick, just permeate every corner of the room, and then also open up your doors and windows to allow that energy to move out without any trouble, and to leave immediately. At a later stage, when as I go on and I speak about things, clearing out things that are more negative, we'll go into more detail. But these are just the basics. Clear out all the old stuff, and then you bring in the new. And this is something that you can write down in the form of a prayer, if you'd like to call it that, and then invite in all the good things. Because now you've cleared it out. Now it's empty. Now you need to bring new things in. And you can ask for things that, you know, once all of this bad stuff is in, we bring in prosperity, we bring in wealth and abundance and health. Anything that you feel in that moment that you need to ask for, you ask for those things. And then after that, you seal off your house, or your space, whatever space it may be. And you just say that only good things may enter my space. Okay. Nothing, nothing evil, no low vibrations, no low frequencies. Only the highest of frequencies may enter this space for any good. Okay. Um, Another way that a clearing can be done, or cleansing can be done, is if you are a religious person, whichever religion you belong to, the only ones I can, really speak on are, of course, the Christian religion, where they will invite in a pastor or a reverend to come and clear, and then afterwards do a blessing by reciting scriptures and calling on angels and all that sort of thing, and calling on God, basically the Christian God, to come in and sort things out. So those are a few things. And of course, they may use prayer and um, maybe even burn some incense, depending on if it's which Christian sect they belong to. And then something that is very important, and we did touch on this afterwards, once you have, cleared everything and you've blessed your home in your own unique way, is that you need to set positive intentions afterwards, especially if you've had an experience that has shaken you a little bit, a spiritual experience, a trauma or illness or something. Set positive intentions. It could be, like I've said, you invite in wealth and health and kindness and love and things that are of the light to come in to your space. So that's very important. Setting a positive intention. The other thing is we need to then start doing this on a regular basis, so that these things don't creep back in. And like I said, we're not necessarily talking about boogeymen all the time or something evil. It's just maybe old patterns of thought or of doing something. And we want to get rid of those. We don't want to do those things anymore because they are no longer serving us. So what you'll do is you'll clear those things out of your home. And of course, repeat this process on a regular basis. So, folks, can you believe it? That's now we've come to the end of our video one on, what is a spiritual house cleansing? How do you do it? When do you do it? And some things that are, important that need to be followed up on once you start doing them. I hope you have found this educational. Like I said, you can leave something in the comments. Maybe there's something you would like to know more about, any sort of topic, and we can chat about that, or I can do a video on it. So everybody, from now until we meet again in our next video, I just want to send you some love, light, and peace. And until we meet the next time, goodbye.